With your love of libraries, you must be in heaven.
Except all the books are really historical and kind of boring.
Hi, we're the Care Kids.
Our parents are crazy. They want to take us on a year-long trip.
They call it an empathy expedition.
We're traveling the states to discover what makes us united.
50 states and 52 weeks.
And I saw you, 'cause I wanna be like the wind. I wanna run with you. Oh, we can be wolves, howling at the great white moon. I wanna be by your side when you light up the sky for the world to see. Run, 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 run with me.
Welcome to Iowa. It's the home to the world's first tractor, which makes sense because Iowa produces 10% of the U.S. food supply.
Did you know that Iowa is the largest producer of pork, corn, and eggs? We're in Mason City, Iowa.
Home of Meredith Willson, who wrote The Music Man.
26 trombones caught the morning sun.
There are a bunch of musical sculptures everywhere. In Iowa, we went to the place where the person who made the Music Man grew up. He based Music Man off his hometown, because that's kind of how his hometown was. Inside the building, it looked like the set. There was the billiards place with the new pool table and billiards and stuff. It's a harmonica.
It's a harmonica.
A harmonica?
Yeah,
Can that be a
that's a
harmonica?
harmonica.
They're shaped like harmonicas. Yeah, those ones are tiny.
Look at that
Those
one
ones
called
are
the roll harmonica. You roll the little things in it. I'm not sure what it does.
Maybe it plays it for you. Meredith Willson isn't the only musician born in Iowa. Glenn Miller was born here too, as well as actors like Ashton Kutcher, Elijah Wood, and John Wayne.
Where you Chuckies out there is also the home of James T. Kirk, captain of the Enterprise, but he's not supposed to be born for a couple hundred years.
Hey, we're in Des Moines, Iowa, and we're about to take a Capitol tour.
If you look up, there's only one level.
The Iowa State Capitol is the only state capitol that features 5 different domes.
It's a Navy dome.
This is the USS Iowa.
Yeah. It has 55 cannons.
It has how many?
55 tanks. It has the central golden dome.
And 4 smaller ones on the outside.
With your love of libraries, you must be in heaven.
Except all the books are really historical and kind of boring. We checked out the law library and our imaginations went wild. I think that if I pull one of these books, it'll trigger a secret passageway and I'll become a superhero. Let's see. They also had a collection of dolls that looked like the first lady's dress from each period. The bridge was super cool. It looked like an optical illusion.
What do you think this bridge looks like?
Well, it was designed to look like the view through a mine shaft because the mining that went on nearby helped settle this area. Because it looked like you were in a giant tunnel. This bridge is 13 stories high and nearly half a mile long. We had to time it just right because the lights come on at dusk and go off right at midnight. The Hot Air Balloon Festival. That was awesome. It was so cool. There was 50 different hot air balloons in the sky at the same time, racing each other over the hill.
Hi, I'm Holly Pfeiffer, and I am a balloon pilot at the National Balloon Classic in Indianola, Iowa.
I'm getting about a 225 as I climb, Holly. I don't know if it's going to stay or what.
Okay, I think I might come up. I've only got a 216. This is a competition.
66. Here. 83. Here.
So in the mornings we fly to get points, and then overall at the end of the race, depending on how you do from first place to 20th place, they do prize money.
Contest area. 1 launch may be paid for this.
So this is one of the few sports where X literally marks the spot. So we have multiple targets, so they put them in somebody's field, maybe in somebody's front lawn, and we're flying to it and we're throwing that baggie as close to the center of the X as possible. Evenings are fun, and then the mornings are the real serious stuff. We're not there yet, by any means. So we set off a helium balloon. I use this, so I have a compass, and when I read this, it tells me how many degrees that balloon is going.
Hey, Holly, or Jennifer, you got a copy?
I gotcha. I got involved at a really young age. My parents used to crew for Owen Keown. That was back when the U.S. Nationals was at Indianola and was held at Simpson campus. For my family, I guess, yeah, it's been a family thing since I was growing up. My dad loved the balloons, my mom did. Justin, you always told my sister to, yeah, I thought she saw me motion, but maybe she's not. There, now she's going. So there's a U.S. Nationals. Right now it was last year it was in Louisiana, and this year it was also in Louisiana. People are very cutthroat about their spots. Definitely, it's first come, first serve, and if somebody cuts you off and takes your spot, then chances are you just miss out. When we were young kids, we were brought along as crew. It was usually pretty cold, so I'd grab a blanket, sleep in the basket until it was time for us to put the balloon up. And I can tell you this, every pilot does stuff differently, so my way is not always the way everybody does it. My job was usually to hold the mouth open. Didn't mind it, and thinking about it, how young I was doing that, and it never scared me, I guess. I was never, some kids get scared of the burners and that flame, and I guess that never really scared me. I thought it was fun. So my dad was my crew in the morning. My mom was crew when I needed her, and my sister is also my crew, so she's always been my crew for quite a while. To me, it was nice to share something with my dad because he loved it. He was always rooting for me and just my biggest supporter, I would say. And same with my brother. I mean, we both were flying together, and we were helping each other and talking to each other in the air. And so I think that's nice to have family that's also pilots. You see a lot of father-daughter or father-son combinations out here, but I don't think you see too many brother-sisters.
So do you go from target to target?
Yes.
And do you know where they are as well, or is it like a GPS coordinate, or?
Basically they're just plotted on the map. So you can see they've put out tape that looks like a giant triangle. And so they have to come as close to the point on the triangle at this end, and then throw another baggie at the actual X.
And my family, my husband, kind of, whether he likes it or not, helps out. It was a lot easier before I had kids, made things a little more complicated. My kids are getting a little older now. My girls are 4, and they got their first flight last year. So they've been up now 3 times. I'm hoping one of them will want to do this as they get older, and for sure they're going to be getting up and being my crew in the mornings when they get really old enough to help. So I'll have built-in crew at some point. They enjoy it. They think it's fun. I'm hoping they get the same, I guess, love of ballooning that I have, because it's something I find you either love it or you kind of like it. And I don't know why, but I loved it as a kid.
My parents started in the early 70s crewing, and then they started bringing us along. I thought I was about 3 or 4.
Family is, you have your family that is, your biological family. And I would say the one thing I, enjoy is that this is a family out here. I kind of feel like overall there is a general, we all feel like everybody's family. When I lost my dad 2 years ago, I felt like this was a family and they supported me. And I just really appreciated how they knew what I needed. Because to come out here, it was hard and do it because my dad loved it, but I know, so it's a double-edged sword because it's something I love and my dad was a part of it. So every time I do it, you get those memories back and then it makes you miss him. But I know he'd love being out here. I know he's watching me from above and cheering me on. You may do good, you may do bad, but in the end, I always looked at it when I landed. I looked at it from a perspective of, I look at it, did I have a good flight? Did I have a good landing? Did my crew have fun and did I have fun? And I figure if my crew ever tells me that they're not having fun, then I gotta do something to change that because that's not right. I guess until that isn't fun anymore would be probably the one time I'd probably have to step away, but I kind of hope I'm one of those people that will be flying when I'm 60 years old, if my body allows me. It's very peaceful. You know, some people say, well, isn't it really loud, the burner, you know, and I don't think so. I get up there and it's amazing to be able to see so far out. What a rush. I mean, this is gorgeous. I'm like, who else gets to enjoy something like this? You could feel like you have 2 hours of sleep and next thing you know, you do have that adrenaline rush and it doesn't matter anymore. You're just focused on what you're doing. This is something you don't get to do every day.